Hello everyone, in today's video we'll be taking a look at exponents. Now when we talk about exponents, we're talking about a situation where we have either a number or a variable and we have a little small number to the top of it. Now the basic idea of exponent is whatever that little small number is at the top, that's telling you how many copies or how many replications of the larger number or variable we have. This large number is known as the base, which is the number 5, and having an exponent of 3, and some people would say that we have 5 raised to the power of 3. This means we have 3 copies of the number 5. That means 5 is being replicated 3 times. Notice that's totally different from saying we have 3 times 5, because we all know that 3 times 5 gives us 15. But having 3 copies of the number 5 means 5 is being multiplied by itself 3 times. 5 times 5 is 25, and then 5 times 25 will give us 125. Likewise, x being raised to the 4th power means we have x being multiplied by itself 4 times. Other key things to note about exponents: any number that you see by itself means it is raised to the 1st power, meaning we have only 1 copy of that number. Typically we do not put the 1, and so we just leave the number by itself. This is where all the logic ends as it relates to exponents, because when we talk about a number being raised to the 0 power, you might be tempted to think we have 0 copies of the number and so it should be 0, but that is not the case. Any number at all raised to the 0 power will give you a value of 1. That is a mathematical fact that we have come to accept, and we just work with it. So any number raised to the 0 power is 1. Not to be mistaken with 4 degrees or 0 degrees. Sorry, 3 degrees. This is 4 being raised to the 0 power, and that is 1. Another thing that you might come across, and let me make some room for all of this, is negative exponents. Now let's take, for example, 6 being raised to the negative 2. You might be thinking, well, how could we have negative 2 copies of 6? Again, try not to rationalize it that way. This negative sign simply means that we have a fraction, and 6 raised to the 2nd power is in the denominator of the fraction, and the numerator is 1. So when we have 6 raised to the negative power, treat it just the same as if we had 6 raised to the 2nd power, where we have 6 being replicated twice, so 6 times 6, except we just put it in the denominator of a fraction. And so we know 6 times 6 is 36, so what we have is 6 times 6. Sorry, 1 over 36. And I'll put this negative sign just to make sure that it's correct. So this is how we treat a negative exponent. We simply turn it in a fraction, we put a 1 in the numerator, we put a fraction bar, and then we still treat that number raised to whatever power it is the same way we would as if the number was positive. And that's how we treat negative exponents. Hopefully this helped you guys out quite a bit, and if you have any more issues with exponents, don't forget to check out my videos on how to multiply exponents and also how to divide exponents. Please remember to share, subscribe, and like this video if you found it helpful.